Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about Dlivrd gig review. So one of the many things that I preach on this channel is to diversify your gig portfolio. One of those gigs that you could be a part of is Dlivrd. So with that said, I want to go over everything you must know about Dlivrd, what they tell you versus how it actually is, my personal experience with them, and seriously, listen in for my personal experience with them as well as other drivers' experience with them, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult with qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're going to be going over in this video is very market dependent, and what applies to me and my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. What is Dlivrd? Dlivrd is a catering company mainly receiving orders from ezCater in order to actually have orders delivered by independent contractors. And with catering orders, they are naturally going to be larger, and on Doordash and many other gigs, these are the highest paying orders. And this company specifically targets that. Sign up requirements. So in order to actually be a Dlivrd driver, you have to be over the age of 21, which kind of makes sense. Have a valid driver's license, a valid bank account so you can actually get paid. Like, I think that's everybody's goal here. Legally eligible to work in the US, your own reliable vehicle to make deliveries, availability Monday through Friday between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. regularly. Hear what they said, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's where the large majority of orders are going to be coming from. Sometimes you'll get early morning orders, sometimes you'll get late evening orders, but large majority of the time it's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Generally comfortable driving, parking, and delivering in a city setting. I'm in a suburban area that leans towards city setting, and I still got orders relatively frequently. Now, one of the things that they don't talk about with sign up is that you have to download the app and you have to go into orientation, and they will walk you through what you should expect on the app. And the orientation is going to be held on Zoom. You're not going to go to a specific location or anything like that. Receiving orders. Order offers will come up explaining the exact address that you're picking up from. The exact address to where you're going, that's also very important to know. They're going to be as transparent with you about that as possible. When you are going to need to pick it up, and they're going to notify you 20 minutes or 30 minutes before to start the delivery, so don't even worry about that. When they expect you to drop it off under normal circumstances, how much you will be paid for the order itself, and you have 15 minutes, not seconds, minutes to decide if you want it. Unless it's a same day order where under normal circumstances it's a scheduled order for the next day, then it's gonna be 10 minutes. Your first orders are going to be smaller in size because they didn't provide you with equipment yet. After 5 deliveries are done, they're going to send you bags, and they're gonna send you some other tchotchke stuff on top of that too, but overall the bags are what they need to know you have. Also, when you're doing these orders, catering orders, so you will have to set them up unless requested otherwise, but overall assume that you're going to set up the orders. Income expectations. So again, these are pay per order. They're not pay for your time. If you're still on the subject of being paid a certain amount for your time, then you're not really a gig worker. You're an employee trying to be a gig worker, and you need to make that mindset shift before hopping on any of these gig apps. But let's talk about the lowest order value. Like, what is the smallest order you're actually going to get? They didn't refer to it as base pay specifically. They referred to it to as the lowest order value. $20. $10 for the base pay, and always have at least $10 in tip. Order volume. Honestly, some days I got 1 order. Some days I got 2. They say 2 to 4 offers a day, but honestly, that's nonsense. And during the summer, they literally tell you that the order flow is going to be a little slower, so don't expect too much from that. Most orders are going to be for the next day and are scheduled ahead of time. Most are for the early afternoon. Some are very early morning. Very rare for the evening. And we already said this is going to be between 10 and 2 for the large majority orders that you receive. However, you can also text available in the notifications number they give you. They give you like 3 numbers, one for support, one for active deliveries, one for not active deliveries, and one for just notifications. If you text the notifications number available, then they say that you will be notified for orders that are for the same day or whatever that is. I don't know if it really made a difference or not, but that's what support told me. And also, getting paid for these orders is next business day pay. If you complete the order on Wednesday, you'll be paid on Thursday. If you did the order on Thursday, you'll be paid on Friday. If you complete the order on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you'll be paid on Monday, with the exception of holidays and all that, but overall, next business day pay. And they operate through Every in order for them to pay you. It may not happen immediately. You may not see it first thing in the morning. You'll probably see it later that afternoon, but overall, next day pay. Tip fronting and tip stealing. This is, in my opinion, one of the worst practices, if not the worst practice in the gig economy. They tell you a value ahead of time, and then as you are on your way to the actual location which you're picking up from, or within the hour in general of you actually picking up the order, the value of the order will drop. Some people have seen the order go from $100 to $50. Some people see the order go from $50 all the way down to the lowest possible value, $20. They claim it's because the order became smaller, so it's not as many people or as much food. And this is BS, but we'll go over that later. But how can you expect someone who is busting their butt normally, who is scheduled ahead of time, had to deny other offers and opportunities to make money that day, to schedule themselves for an order that is going to drop in value at the last minute? That makes no sense. They also say you could request an adjustment, but that doesn't make it right at all. People who don't know how to fight this are going to lose some serious cash because you kept scamming them in the first place. Not to mention, just because you can request an adjustment doesn't mean they'll approve it. My experience. Honestly, when I initially got started, I was so impressed by them. The orders paid well, the money made sense, I didn't have to overwork myself, I wasn't stressed at all. I had a few experiences with some people who worked there. They said they would send me bags when I hit 5 completed deliveries, but after I got 2, I ended up getting a personal phone call with somebody who worked there, and they said, just send us photos of the bags you already have, because I worked on Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub also, and I also had bags, and we'll just get you noted as an experienced driver right away so you can accept bigger orders that have more value. I sent them photos, they made them right away. Once I hit the 5 anyway, they sent me more bags anyway, as well as some other merch. Honestly, I was so blown away that the support agent that I first worked with, the first one that I ever worked with, was not only supportive, they gave me tips on how to receive more orders. That text that I told you about, that was from her. They were helpful for the order cancellation that had to take place. I still got paid the full amount for that. And they made sure that I was paid well. This honestly took way beyond the honeymoon phase, because this was a few good months of nothing bad happening. And honestly, what was even more amazing than that is how helpful some of the restaurants were during catering orders. There's no nonsense, no disrespect, just relatively decent treatment by the people who worked in restaurants. I know, right? Then that day happened. I was up early one day and I ended up getting a last minute notification to a bagel place in Pompano Beach to go to Aventura, which from me to this bagel place was already a couple miles, but from that bagel place to Aventura was an 18-mile drive. It wasn't the first time that I got offers going to this address, but they were always like $24 or something like that, so I always denied them. But it was also 7:20 in the morning, I was up, I felt pretty good. They sent me this order, it said $32. Am I gonna make $32 another way today? Not really. Not to mention that this order specifically would be the second one I had for the same day, so it would end up working out really well. I would make some really good money. So I took the order at 7 a.m. They asked me to start the order and I made my way over there. And within 3 minutes of me starting the order, and honestly it felt like clockwork, like the moment it turned 3 minutes, I got a notification that the order was updated to $24. $25. I felt so scammed. Like, I literally was told $32 and they dropped it to $24. I didn't know they did that on a regular basis to other people for more money. But in the moment, I felt so scammed that I was about to drive 18 miles for even less value. I contacted support, talked to a useless person that hung up on me. I called them again and I said this time I wanted a supervisor. The supervisor justified the action saying the order got smaller, which was not accurate at all, but I'll go over that later. I spoke to the bagel place and Easy Cater about that, which I found out later was not true because the bagel place, they said no, there was no changes to this order. I found out from Easy Cater that they didn't shrink this order, and I was pissed. If they're gonna scam me like this, I want this order canceled. You're going to literally tell me that you're dropping the value of the order? Why would I drive 18 miles for that? So she said she would issue a $15 payment for the canceled order and have the order canceled. I was pissed that I got played like that, but I was fine with it. I had another order for that day from Dlivrd, and honestly, it worked out fine. However, 15 minutes after that call, they unassigned me from the order I had later that day and said the order is no longer available. Same supervisor said that. And for how poorly they handled the last order and how they were literally playing games with me before, I felt it would be irresponsible to not follow up on why. So I contacted support again and they tried playing me again. They tried selling me some BS that there's no supervisor available, trying to basically wall me off because they kept trying to scam me. And they were playing keep away with the supervisor, hanging up on me, saying they were speaking to different people, repeating the same old lines like it meant something. And these people aren't outsourced either. These people are in-house in this country, so they know what I'm saying. It's not like there's any language barrier here. And while I was doing this, because I was not tolerating this type of behavior, I emailed the CEO, Chris Heffernan, and said, if I didn't get an actual answer and you're going to continuously scam me like this, I'm taking legal action against this company. Which, by the way, the fact that I have to do that, the fact that this is a necessary step for them to just do their job, says exactly what the future of this company is going to look like. We'll go over that later. And I also got a call from Easy Cater while I was fighting with all of these support agents while they were putting me on hold and everything else, because they thought I was still on the last order. So not only did they not have the order canceled, they didn't even assign the order to anybody else. They tried to pin the problems on me. They were so busy trying to scam me that they screwed over another customer and tried to put the blame on me. Easy Cater already noted that I was not the person at fault. I actually asked them about the size of the order dropping. They said, no, that never happened. So they lied about that. And I finally get back on the line with the initial supervisor, Virginia, and she kept saying that the order was not available. I kept asking why it wasn't available, and she just kept repeating that the order wasn't available. And it was just back and forth with that for a good 5 minutes. I was like, is she stupid? Was she dropped on her head as a child? Does she put bleach in her coffee? Yes, probably, and most likely. And finally, I get a call while I'm on the phone with this person from Brian Brock, the CPO. He kept trying to convince me that it was okay to steal from their gig workers. I mean, reduce the value of the order, because he wasn't making as much money from that either because the order value dropped, which I already proved was an absolute lie. He kept trying to convince me that they were not running a scammy operation. They made a snide comment about how gig workers are, which honestly I just can't repeat, and you know how I talk on this channel. And honestly, I am concerned for the people who live with him. If he's that abusive to me, isn't it more than plausible that he's abusive to his family and friends? After all of that, I get the order back that I was supposed to have initially, which proved that Virginia was lying right through her teeth about it not being available. She was trying to remove the order from me for the sake of removing the order from me. And then later on, the order is completed. I get another call from Brian Brock saying that they are terminating my contract. Wrongful termination and retaliation. I contact the CEO again, and Chris Heffernan justifies both of the behaviors of Virginia and Brian Brock, making them literal liabilities for legal action on paper. Turns out, I am not the only one with stories like this either. Like I said, $100 orders being cut in half, $50 orders dropping to $20, and mine was just $8 and I was fighting for that. How could somebody schedule an opportunity ahead of time, turn down other opportunities that they may be a part of as a gig worker, and see the order values change and expect those people to work with you? Final verdict. This company clearly discriminates against gig workers. That was the CPO, Chief People Officer. You're gonna discriminate against your own people as a people officer. They steal money from the people they work with. They're an overall legal liability towards themselves and the people they work with. But you know what? It's hard to look at $20 minimums and honestly not consider it. A $10 order on Doordash or a $20 order scheduled ahead of time. I get the thought process, but understand that if you do decide to do this, this has got to be one of the first companies you cut out of your gig portfolio when you're transitioning towards your long-term goal, whether it's a business or something else. Your income isn't guaranteed. They're going to justify abusing you relentlessly, scamming you out of money, and justifying it with lies and manipulations. Think about this also. They're this bad with their integrity and character now, and they're basically next to nothing. Most people don't even know how to search for them because of the way their company is spelled. But you know what other companies were really bad when they were nothing? Doordash with tip theft, Uber and UberEats with hiding order values, Grubhub with not showing mileage. What is going to happen when they pull more shady things and pocket money that you're supposed to be earning? This company is going to get really bad for a lot of people. If you want to do this, go for it. But be ready to jump ship real quick. They already hate gig workers. They already abuse people in general. And just wait until you are on the receiving end of this. Because if you think it's not going to happen to you, you're out of your mind. Did I miss anything? Is there something else about Dlivrd that I have yet to cover in this video? Let me know in the comments. Let's make sure that anybody and everybody that needs to know something about this piss poor integrity and character of a company knows what they need to know, and people can make the most amount of money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way from any aspect of their gig portfolio and their income earning future. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.